What's good, YouTube, and welcome to channel. In today's video I will share with you the most broken Kuva Nukor build for level 9999 steel path enemies in Warframe utilizing the new 1999 update Arcane and mod. But first, let me show you how broken it is. Let's go!
I am not a king, I am not a god, I am Arcane!
Another one.
Now that's a lot of damage!
Welcome back, Tano. I hope you enjoyed the speedrun. Now, as always, before I build a weapon or a Warframe, I rely on my method called DVS, and it's becoming a culture actually in my community. D, how I'll be dealing damage, what elements I'll be modding my weapon for, and V, how I'll proc 10 stacks of viral on enemies to make them vulnerable by 325% more damage to their HP, and S stands for stripping enemies armor. And armor sucks in Warframe like we all know, but with armor comes something called damage reduction. Lowering enemies damage reduction, I'll be dealing higher damage to them. Also, this build doesn't include any Riven, so you can save your platinum. And also, I'm using Revenant, so I don't boost the weapon in any way. So you can feel free to use this build with Sarin, or you can use it with Eclipse, Zata Whisper, Vex Fury, or you can use it with Side 09, whatever you want. I provide the broken build, and you boost it however you like. Let's go for the build. And now for the build, starting with the Archon shards. But before that, if you don't like my methods on how I'll be proccing viral and armor stripping enemies, worry not. Shake this shit right here, it will help you maneuver around my methods. Starting first with the Archon shards, 2 Emerald Archon shards to armor strip enemies by reaching 14 stacks of corrosive, so we don't rely on any helmet ability like Pillage, Taro Strike, or Terrify for example to armor strip. So the weapon itself built with corrosive can armor strip the enemies, or you can run here Tempest Barrage. Simple as that. The other Archon shards, you don't want to run this Violet Archon shards. What you want to run actually is this one. An Octavia build for level cap is coming tomorrow. That's a scoop for you. You want to run the 2 Emerald Archon shards here and 3 Topaz. Hopefully you have them Tau Forged. Secondary critical chance by 1% every time you kill an enemy affected by heat statue effect. Now I will show you that heat where it's gonna be coming from. For that we need to go to the companion. Nautilus Prime. Cordon to pull enemies, Duplex for the clones, Assault to attack, Vacuum to pull the loot, Manifold for more cordon, and then you got Shield, Armor, Health, and then you got Fire Rate, and then you got Tenacious Bond. If the sentient weapon has more than 50% critical chance. Now when it comes to Verglass, we got 1 Riven. You can get any Riven, doesn't have to be this one. It's just you need critical chance, or you're sacrificing the 120% critical damage, and then viral and heat. So heat will come from your companion, and the weapon will get the Topaz buff. Simple as that. When it comes to Revenant, as I said, I use Revenant so I don't boost the weapon anyway. Okay? We'll be running Pistol Amp to increase your pistol damage. Of course, if you don't like pistol amp and you use different weapons, you can use the hostile amp for the 60%, but you're going to be switching, which is good when you're running vigorous swap. And then arcane precision, arcane velocity for damage, and then you go for fire rate. And then we'll be using nourish to proc viral. Of course, if you don't like nourish and you want to swap it with something else, you can, since your companion is modded for viral, or maybe you have another source to prime enemies with viral. That's totally up to you, but I'll be using nourish for more stable viral. Then for the Kuva Nukor, first thing first, I'm using Toxin Progenitor, because everyone, even I'm showing a build and saying it, nobody. Toxin Progenitors, alright, right here, 48.9%. You can push yours to 60%. You can also farm it or keep like getting copies from the Kuva Nukor, or you can just go to Warframe Market and you buy a ready 60% Kuva Nukor and you'll be good to go. Now, Galvanized Diffusion for multi-shot and more multi-shot on kill, Jolt for electricity and statue chance, Prime Target Cracker for critical damage, Pistol Pestilence for toxin and statue chance, Gambit for critical chance, Magnetic is the new 1999 mod I told you about, 60% magnetic and 40% critical damage. Now, I'm sorry for the Thanos that has the magnetic progenitor. It is what it is. Now, why we need magnetic? First thing first, for every enemy with the overguard and every enemy with shield, as look at this, magnetic increase shield damage by up to 325% with multiple stacks and disables target shield regeneration for a short duration. When shield or overguard breaks, deals electricity damage for 3% of enemy's max shield or overguard per stack with forced electricity statue effect. Mamma mia. And magnetic right now is the only magnetic, and the secondary fortifier is the only way to deal higher damage to the overguard. And enemies at level cap, they have a high like overguard, and you need magnetic for that. Radiation, you already know about that, will confuse enemies and so on. Corrosive to damage the enemies, and armor strip them as well. And then you got galvanized shot, statue chance on kill for 40% direct damage per statue type, affecting the target for 14 seconds, stacks up to 3 times. Really crazy stuff. So we're proccing corrosive, radiation, magnetic, electricity from magnetic, and then we're proccing viral from nourish, and we're proccing heat from our companion. 6 freaking elements. 6 freaking elements! Unbelievable! Lethal turret, fire rate, and multi-shot. And this is the real deal, guys, because the Kuva Nukor is not a single targeting. Kuva Nukor has a chain reaction beam. Alright, so you'll be hitting a lot of targets at the same time, and the beam is chain reacting from all enemies. And then we'll be using the secondary Enervate. Now, Kuva Nukor has a very high critical multiplier. Crazy stuff. But he doesn't have a lot of critical chance. So all the time, he's not using the high critical chance tier multiplier. So because if you has a higher tier, the critical multiplier is higher and multiplied. Alright? So, secondary Enervate, what it does? On hit, and in the Kuva Nukor, you'll be hitting a lot of targets, increase critical chance by 10% on hit. So if you hit 20 targets at the same time, you'll have 200%. Resets after 6 big critical hits. Mamma mia. 6 big critical hits, orange and red. One of them. Orange or red. Alright, not yellow. Pistol ammo mutation to convert ammo. Of course, if you don't like that one, you can use this one. No problem at all. There is no worry in there. And this is the final build. And then, of course, use whatever you want when it comes to Fox's School and so on. Now, let me show you how powerful this is. And how I'm gonna show you this, first I'm gonna be using Excalibur, alright? I'll be using Excalibur without any helmet and without any arcane, and I will be removing my companion, so this makes sense to you, alright? Let's go. We'll be using the level 200 corrupted heavy gunners. Of course, I'm be using the 225, alright? The 1999 tile set, it doesn't show only level 200, and here we go. Check this out, alright? Check this out. No arcanes. No companion, no nothing. No armor stripping, nothing. Alright, level 225, gone. Okay, no viral, no stripping, nothing. Look at that. So that's how good this is. Now, what if we add we add the arcanes? Alright, let's go. Velocity, and then we add precision right here, and then we add the pistol right about here. Alright, let's see how much damage will be increased. And this method I'm doing right now is recommended by you guys. Look at that. I want you to pay attention upright for the arcane buff, how it's going, like 160, 170, 180, and then it's going down to 30, increasing the critical chance. And we're jumping from orange, look at that. Sometimes you'll be having red if you have more enemies around. Look at that. Now imagine what you're gonna do now. I'm not gonna be using Nourish yet. What I'm gonna be using, I'm just gonna be using my companion. Nautilus Prime will proc viral and heat for me. That's more element. Right, summoning those enemies. There are so few. We need more of them because this weapon is a destroyer. Right? If you like this method of me going slowly, let me know. Okay, so my companion will be proccing viral for me. And reloading. And there you go. Now this is no armor stripping. Okay, as you can see the heat right there. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. And they're down. Now, what we're gonna do now, we're gonna be using our Revenant. Right about here. And this is the build we'll be using. Same thing, we're just gonna be adding Nourish and Armor Stripping right now. There is Nourish, and there will be Armor Strip. And that's your final masterpiece for the DPS ladies and gentlemen, alright? And now let's talk about if you have a Riven, what Riven should you have? First thing first, if you have a Riven with Toxin, you want to replace Pistol Pestilence, hands down. If you have a Riven with Electricity, you want to replace Jolt, and that's pretty much it, what I can think of. If you have a God Roll Riven, then you need probably to take some risks and test what is works, what's not, because the build the way it is just perfect. Now, if you want to flip this build, for example, from corrosive to viral, because you have another way of armor stripping enemies, all you have to do is just remove Jolt and use the Frostbite, and there you go. Viral, magnetic, and radiation. So one mod can change the build from corrosive or viral. And that's what you want to do, my friend. Alright? So don't get confused. Oh, this is corrosive build, but I have I'm armor stripping with, for example, Uniro or something else. Alright? One mod changes everything. In the conclusion, I would say this weapon 10 out of 10, and I think it can compete with the Incarnon to read. Yes, believe it or not, and I know a lot of Thanos loves the Incarnon to read. They will not like this, but it's really powerful, and this build is really broken. Now, I want to say special thanks to anyone ever supported the channel by hitting like to help with the algorithm, or subbing, commenting, or sharing my content, or joining my Discord community, link on description. Special thanks to the Hall of Members, Crazy Doctor, The Voiceless One too, and special VIPs, Recollusion Irish, and the Undisputed Donator, my brother Free Hate, and other donators, Kali Recol Free, Mr. V, Mika Wes, and Milan Ilionota, Noobmaster, and Black Magic. Big love to you all. Tomorrow, coming the Octavia level cap build, and see you next time. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this Broken Kuva Nukor.